What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Jump. We officially have a bracket. It is the best time of the year. This is the day after Selection Sunday, but we have the best piece of paper that this world has to offer. So, that's probably not true, but it is for the time being. We have a bracket with nothing needs talked about. We don't need to talk about these past conference tournament games. We are talking about the bracket only. Thank you for tuning in. So we'll start out. I guess I'll just talk about my big takeaways. It's hard to. I don't want to just ramble on the bracket and talk about every single game because that's boring. So big takeaways. Obviously, the number one takeaway, because it was the first one, because I live in the state of Kentucky, the Louisville Cardinals getting snubbed. This is a team that has a revived fan base. They're going through the season that they call revival. Pat Kelsey has done an incredible job. They've got transfers that have come over and absolutely lit a flame under this fan base. They've had an incredible year since they lost to Kentucky. And December 14th, they've lost 2 games. Georgia Tech, and then the number one team in the entire country in the ACC Championship. Them being an 8 seed is criminal. I'll be honest. And for those of you that may be new here, I'm a Kentucky fan. So that means something coming from me. An 8 seed is absolutely absurd. I thought for sure 7, maybe 6. I thought there's no way an 8 was on the table. I thought no way they would get that low. But I guess the one takeaway that they get to play in Lexington. So I guess there's a little bit of an upside, and it kind of sucks for Auburn because Auburn now, as the number 1 seed, has to play a team in the second round that's probably getting a home court advantage. Being like an hour and a half away from Louisville, playing in Rupp Arena. So that's my number one takeaway. It's absolutely insane. I mean, the new AP poll came out today. There were 10. Obviously, the AP poll doesn't really matter a whole lot. But, Louisville being an 8 seed is absolutely horrific. Also, sticking in the South region, the number 2 takeaway for me. North Carolina made the tournament. Obviously, the thing that's gone around is the 1-12 record against Quad 1 teams. That's terrible. Bubba Cunningham, AD at North Carolina, is the chairman of the NCAA. So, obviously, it got a little fishy. He says it's because of the Quad 2 record, which seems stupid to me. But, nonetheless, whatever. But I do think Indiana deserved a spot over North Carolina, winning games that they were able to win down the stretch here late. And I think Boise State probably deserves a spot. I think Boise State's a better team than North Carolina. That one just bothers me a little bit. It's obviously a logo thing. It's obviously Bubba Cunningham says he doesn't have a part of it, but he definitely does because there's no way North Carolina makes that under any circumstance if he wasn't involved. So that's 100% the reason. So, but it's a problem, and it goes against the principles that have been set these last few years, and they just didn't deserve it. They have one Quad 1 win, and it was back in they played UCLA in December, I guess it was, CBS Sports Classic, and that's their one Quad 1 win out of 13 opportunities. It's just a terrible, terrible look. Other than that, honestly, the third biggest takeaway for me is in the West, just the pod down at that bottom left of your bracket. Number 7 seed Kansas versus 10 seed Arkansas. And then they would play the winner of number 2 seed St. John's versus 15 Omaha. Obviously, I think St. John's is going to win that game, barring an unforeseen chaos. But Kansas, Arkansas, that one is absolute cinema. This is 2 coaches that have matched up twice in a national championship, 2008, 2012. And a historic program in Kansas, one of the best all-time programs. Arkansas, one of the best SEC programs of all time, probably 3rd or 4th, I don't know. But the names, John Calipari, Bill Self, 2 future Hall of Famers. Cal's already a Hall of Famer, Bill Self, the awards speak for themselves with these 2 guys. I am so excited for this matchup. Both of them, they're very, very similar. Kansas is obviously more disappointing. They were ranked number 1 preseason, but massive NIL budgets. Their rosters are constructed a little bit the same, but Arkansas getting Boogie Fland back, I don't even know if that helps them because they were 0-5 with Boogie Fland, went 8-5 without him. But he's obviously a special player, special talent. So I think it could be beneficial, or it could be kind of how it started the year. And the reason I think they were struggling with him is all the ball dominant guards on that team. I mean, it's impossible to get the ball to that many guys when they all kind of play similar. So that one will be interesting. I'm excited for that one. I think I want to say, I don't know who I took in my bracket. I took Arkansas. I think I did that just because I want the matchup between Pitino and Calipari. And those two guys, I know, like, at least for my generation, grew up like hating Rick Pitino, Louisville coach, whatever. But this is long history rivalry between these two men, John Calipari and Rick Pitino. And I know Rick Pitino's mentioned numerous times that like the one blemish on his record is John Calipari, and he came back to college to kind of knock that off and maybe set some more records so that he has a better career than John Calipari. These dudes hate each other. Like, it's more than like where I think at one point in their rivalry they said we don't send each other Christmas cards. It's like that times 1,000,000,000. Like whatever you think their hate level is, it's that times 100. So that's gonna be super interesting if we end up getting that matchup with Arkansas and St. John's, as these two are towards the end of their career. I mean, Rick Pitino's, he may never stop coaching actually, so I don't know, but super interested in that one. Other than that, Iowa State, they got a 3 seed and announced that Keyshawn Gilbert will be missing the tournament after they get the bracket. So that was interesting by TJ Altenberger to kind of wait a second. Other than that, I mean, I'm super excited. I know it's a little bit of a bias, but the Midwest region has a chance to be pretty fun. And the East region is just points galore. I mean, St. Mary's kind of sticks out, but yeah, I mean, all those teams can put up points in a hurry. So that's gonna be a blast for sure. Florida, they get, for winning the SEC, beating Missouri, who's top 20, destroying Alabama, who's a 2 seed, and then beating Tennessee, who's also a 2 seed. They end up getting the draw of St. John's, probably the best not the best 2 seed, but one of the best 2 seeds. Arguably the best 2 seed. I don't know. But I think without debate, the best 3 seed, Texas Tech. And then they have to deal with Maryland. They get the Crab 5 is intimidating itself. I always believe in March you need guards and depth, and that's like kind of what wins. So Maryland doesn't have the depth part of it, but the Crab 5 alone, I think that's an intimidating one. And I mean, Drake's scary. It's just, it feels like they almost got cheated. Florida went on this run, and then by the way, you get to play the two-time defending national champs in the second round, by the way. Like, it's just crazy to me. Memphis in this West region, being without Tyrese Hunter, at least for the time. Colorado State is alive there. And I think you could really tell that he's definitely not playing when the line came out and Colorado State was a favorite. So that one's going to be fun. Obviously, Nick Clifford is the one drawing all the attention, but this whole Colorado State team is a blast. Other than that, I mean, Duke, Alabama, that I think that's going to end up being one heck of an Elite 8 matchup. I have Alabama winning that one. My Final Four, I'll just give this now, and then I'll probably end up posting it at some point. I have Michigan State out of the South, Florida out of the West, Alabama out of the East, and Houston out of the Midwest. And I have Houston playing Florida for the 2025 NCAA National Championship, with Houston taking home the trophy. So that one's going to be exciting. I'm so excited. This is the first time that I truly believe and I have full faith in a Houston offense. And obviously they have the defense that everybody knows about. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to watch this Houston team. I think this is the year that they get over the hump and complete the task and win a championship. So Fired up for that. Like I said, I am a Kentucky fan, so it's a little nerve-wracking. Last time we were a 3 seed, Jack Golke. Obviously, new coach. That game is the reason why we have a new coach. Playing Troy. Troy cannot shoot. They can offensive rebound. They can't defensive rebound. That means they will hit probably 33s, and they will probably have the best defensive rebounding game of the season. So I fully expect that. I do know about Tatum Connerway. I knew about him before looking at the Troy matchup just because really good player, special player. So I did know about him. He, I think if you're more in touch with college basketball, I think you know who he is. He's not some obscure player, but really good player. So I'm excited for that. Got to win that game, and then Illinois, Texas, Xavier. This could end up aging poorly, but I think Xavier's going to beat Texas. I think Xavier could beat Illinois, depending on which Illinois team shows up. So, other than that, man, I'm excited for all these. Every 5-12, every 4-13 looks super exciting. And most years, you always want to get like all these different amounts of upsets or whatever. This year, you kind of got to go chalk. I think I saw the stat. I can't remember who it was on Twitter that posted it, but the stat of like there's only been like 4 teams ever with a 35 plus overall efficiency rating in KenPom. I don't remember the full stat, but it was like some of the best teams of all time. It was 2015 Kentucky. It might have been like last year's UConn. I don't remember all the teams, but some of the best teams of all time. We'll just put it that way. Every single 1 seed has above the 35% rating. So, with that being said, like the top of the seed lines this year are there's a bigger gap this year than there has been in a very, very long time. And I know the last time all the 1 seeds made the Final Four, I think was 2008 maybe. So it's been a bit, but it didn't stop me from picking a couple ones. And mine ended up being a 2-1 on the other side. So didn't go super chalk, but I went chalk enough. So there is a lot of the matchups that I'm excited for. So Michigan playing UC San Diego. That is interesting because if Michigan moves on, Yale has an opportunity to be a 13 seed and upset an SEC team for the second year in a row, doing it to Auburn last year. And that would mean Danny Wolf gets to play his former team. That was obviously on purpose, putting them in a pod. Another pod, Duke being the 1 seed playing in the 8-9 being Mississippi State Baylor. Baylor, Jeremy Roach having a chance to play against Duke. So that's going to be a blast. I don't know who's going to win that Mississippi State Baylor game. That's going to be I thought that was going to be the first game of the tournament. It ended up being Louisville-Creighton now that we have the times and stuff. But it is just going to be an amazing, amazing tournament. I am so excited. I don't know if I'm missing any key points. It's not going to be a super long video, but man, I'm just so excited. I am so excited. And I do need to mention the SEC. I'm not SEC biased, but so I will say there's one little note from it. SEC set the record with 14 teams in the tournament. It shattered the old record of 11, which 14 is just absurd. But I do think, like I said, I'm not SEC biased. I don't think Texas should have got in. If I'm being honest, like Indiana deserves a spot over Texas. I think Texas should be in over North Carolina. But if you're putting in North Carolina, you got to put in Texas too. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm not too upset about it, but I don't think Texas or North Carolina really deserved it. But here we are. So super excited. I'm sure there will be a lot of content going out this week, and trying to make sure I don't miss anything. But man, just this piece of paper, man. I always love a paper bracket too. This one's not filled out, but I have one filled out, and then I put it on my computer with the exact same model. So I don't know if I have any big upsets that I'm picking round 1. I did choose Colorado State to beat Memphis now with the Tyrese Hunter news. I almost went Drake to beat Missouri, but I do think Missouri can kind of figure things out. Other than that, I think Gonzaga is live to beat Houston. I know I talked about how big I am on Houston. I'm big on Houston and Texas Tech. That's kind of my two teams I've been in love with all year. I do have the Yale versus Michigan matchup. I had Yale upsetting Texas A&M. This was my initial gut bracket that I went with, and so some of these I already disagree with, and these were formed 24 hours ago. So the gut bracket, you just gotta you take what you got and then you run with it. I don't really agree with the 24 hours ago me taking Liberty over Oregon, but here we are. I also took VC over BYU. I think I am excited. I hope BYU and Wisconsin get by their first round and play each other, because that will be probably one of my favorite tournament games of all time. They'll both score 100 probably. I mean, there's gonna be so many points in that game. Like I said, that whole region, the East region, is just points. And I am excited for it. I think Arizona can make a run. I didn't try to go super chalk. That region, I did end up having a 1 versus 4, 3 versus 2. But the rest of them, I had Colorado State in my Sweet 16. I did not know that. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I hope you all are as well. I'm sure if you're tuning into this, then you are a college basketball sicko and you're excited for this. Let me know what your all's hot takes are. Let me know what your picks are that you're going with, that may be a little unpopular, and let me know who your champion is, and if you think Auburn can get it done after being the best team all year, playing in the hardest Maui, sweeping through that, playing the hardest non-conference schedule of all time, and nearly going undefeated through that. If you think they're legit and you have them going all the way, let me know. So yeah, like I said, excited. Can't wait to get it started. When this uploads, it'll be 2 days away from the actual tournament starting. We'll have play-in games the day this uploads, because this will probably upload after midnight. But, man, fired up for it. This is March, and here we go. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Jump. Make sure to follow the socials, all the good stuff. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.